Ladies and gentlemen, would you please give a very warm welcome to your host for this evening, TV and radio personality, fashion model and all-round lovely lady, it's Lisa Snowdon.
Hello, good evening everyone, and welcome to the show by Breast Cancer Now. I am your host Lisa Snowdon, and it's so wonderful to see you all here in the room. I believe we are streaming live as well. So hello to everybody. We're live on TikTok. Say hello to everybody at home. Have a good evening. Thank you so much for supporting. Right, I feel much safer over here, so I'm going to wiggle back down here. But yeah, keep watching everybody at home, and you're going to enjoy this show. It's unbelievable. It is a fashion show like no other. Yay! You can say that, guys and girls, because you are fabulous waiting in the wings. Honestly, the model is just going to blow your mind. So it's a real privilege to be here tonight on behalf of this incredible charity and for a cause close to my heart. Now, I've been ambassador for Breast Cancer Now since 2005, so I can even work out that this is my 20th anniversary. I know, it's unbelievable. All those years ago, when the charity asked me to be an ambassador, I was just blown away and so honored, and I still feel the same way now. And I'm very passionate about helping to raise awareness of the charity and all the incredible work that they do to help, support, and champion the needs of anyone affected by breast cancer. Like many people, breast cancer has touched my family multiple times. My earliest memory being losing my grandmother to the disease. My grandma found a lump, and she sadly chose to ignore it. She wanted to pretend it wasn't there. She was scared, and it proved fatal. So from a young age, I've learned that early detection is crucial, and it's vital to seek medical advice as soon as you have any worries, any concerns, as soon as you notice any changes or anything that doesn't look or feel normal. Knowing how your breasts look and feel for both men and women is just so important, and getting anything checked out by a GP alongside attending routine mammograms when invited is so important, and it can ultimately save lives. I've been lucky enough to attend this extraordinary event a number of times over the years, and I'm always completely inspired. I'm literally just humbled. It's a celebration. We will cry. We will laugh. It's amazing. And there's so much sass back there. I can't wait for you to see it. Honestly, yes. The models are absolutely beautiful. And there's never a dry eye in the house, especially not from me. So I'm extremely proud to be here hosting this wonderful event again. So thank you so much for joining us for what I promise is going to be a very special evening. Now, we're all here today to see our 23 amazing models take to the catwalk for the very first time. And these aren't just any models. All our models are living with breast cancer or beyond. This year, we're shining a spotlight on breast cancer research and the incredible impact it can have on thousands of people diagnosed with breast cancer every year. Right now, Breast Cancer Now currently funds around 100 cutting-edge research projects across the UK and Europe, where researchers work tirelessly to discover better treatments and care, how to prevent breast cancer and save people's lives. Research really is the key to stopping breast cancer in its tracks. Without research, more people will be diagnosed with breast cancer, they'll have to go through difficult treatments with grueling side effects, and people will keep dying from breast cancer. Research can really help to change this. Now, before the show, we asked our models to tell us why they wanted to take part, and I had to share with you some of the responses. So Elaine said she wanted to challenge herself to do something that she's never done before and to celebrate what she's been through with her children, husband, and family. Melanie wanted to take to the runway to show that other young women that breast cancer doesn't have to mean that you're not able to enjoy life again, and there is beauty in showing vulnerability. And Faye is our dedicated People's Postcode Lottery model. She shared that she wants to show that there is life after cancer and the love she has for her body, for everything it went through during treatment. Now, each of our models has their own special reason for taking part, and we're all incredibly proud of them. Can we hear it from our models? Who's here? Family and friends supporting? Oh, yes! Do you promise to be as loud as this throughout the whole show? Like, raise the roof off of this building. Because as our models take to the runway, we're going to be celebrating the support they have received from you guys throughout diagnosis and beyond, and obviously from breast cancer now as well. And by you being in the audience, you're supporting both the models and our work, helping us to get closer to a future where everyone diagnosed with breast cancer lives and is supported to live well. Now, before our models get on the catwalk, I'd like to introduce you to a very special lady, Tatler, one of our models who also happens to be a cancer researcher. We're lucky enough to have her share her story with us tonight. Here she is.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the show 2025. I would like to first start off by thanking Breast Cancer Now for asking me to be their model speaker this year. I stand here very aware we all have our journeys, our stories. What makes mine different? Truth be told, nothing. I stand here as a statistic. 1 in 2 of us will be diagnosed with cancer in our lifetime. The one question I have never asked, why me? The question always was, why not me? To understand my breast cancer path, I have to give you a bit of my backstory. I'm a proud Sikh, the eldest of 6 children, a child of hard-working immigrants. From young, I was always interested in medicine and science. I have spent all of my working life in cancer research in some way or form. On 28th of March 2018, age 47, I was in the shower and I felt a lump in my right breast. I felt like somebody had punched me in the gut. I went back, felt it again. It was real. I had not imagined it. Fight or flight, first decision to make. My daughters were 9 and 10 years old at the time of my diagnosis. I only had one option, and that was to fight. I am that strong, no-nonsense woman that just gets on with it. After a barrage of scans, tests, I was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer. Telling our girls was one of the hardest things I have ever had to do. Telling my parents was even harder. I knew how I would feel if it was my child. I had a mastectomy, 3 additional surgeries, 16 rounds of chemo, and 10 cycles of radiotherapy. I'm now in year 6 of my 10-year battle with tamoxifen. At the age of 47, I was treated as a child for the first time. I saw my mother feed me, bathe me, and help me to get dressed. I found my village, my tribe. Cancer cannot be dealt with alone. My oncologist, Dr. Tanvi, walks on water as far as I'm concerned. He not only treated my malignancy, but also my mind. My background in cancer research became a personal lifeline as I navigated the complexities of my diagnosis and treatment. I immersed myself in statistics, data, and current publications, recognizing that many of the therapies I received were in the early stages of development during my academic career. I never allowed my girls or my husband to take me to chemotherapy sessions. I did not want them to see the ugly side of treatment. My friend Tia, my sister, not only from another mister, but my sister from several lifetimes, she took me and stayed with me for every single chemo. She made me laugh, wipe my tears, as well as telling me to get my act together. She is the mortgage in my life that I will never pay off. Chemo was tough physically. The harder battle was the mental one. I was told constantly of how strong I was. Have faith, all will be well. I'm not strong by choice. We all live our lives thinking we're going to live forever. Who even thinks of death? I think of death every day. I wake up every day thankful for another day. I celebrate my birthday. I'm grateful for another year around the sun. The more challenging battle begins once treatment is over. You hear the term, all clear. I would love to know what that actually is. Everyone around you thinks you are back to normal. Again, what is normal? Every ache and pain, I used to think that the cancer was back. There may be no evidence of disease in my scans, but the disease lives with me for every minute of every day. No one discusses the side effects of tamoxifen. In my mind, I've come to terms with the fact that I'm likely to have cancer again. In the Southeast Asian community, the C word is the unsaid word. A cancer diagnosis is often seen as a death sentence. I had one relative tell me that I must have been a bad person in a previous life, and karma was now teaching me a lesson. That hurt, but it also highlighted the lack of accurate information and the depth of the taboos that existed in my community, leading to later diagnoses and appropriate treatments. Did cancer change me? 100%. I was never a bad person. I am a better person. In these crazy dark times we live in, cancer has shown me what matters. I cherish every moment with the people that I love. I've learned to be selfish in life for the very first time. I am grateful every day. Grateful to the dedication of scientists, doctors, nurses, charities, and research assistants. To them, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I stand here today because of your hard work, your compassion and devotion. I look at the world with a different lens post-cancer. There is great joy in the small things. My experience has also given me a renewed sense of purpose. As a scientist, a breast cancer survivor, and working in clinical trials, I have a very unique and privileged viewpoint. The importance of early detection cannot be stressed enough. Early detection is crucial, yet it's not happening for everyone. Although more white women are diagnosed with breast cancer, mortality rates are higher among Black and Southeast Asian women. To level the playing field and ensure equitable screening for all, we must first educate all communities to advocate for themselves and understand the importance of screening programs. We also need to take their cultural and religious viewpoints into account. Occurrence rates will only be lowered if our screening programs are more efficient, effective, and inclusive and targeted at the communities that are not attending. In the United Kingdom, breast cancer screening is offered every 3 years after the age of 50. I was diagnosed when I was 47, and I know there are individuals who are in the room here that were much younger. In 2025, despite the plethora of communication tools and social media, we still have to talk about health literacy and equality. I help various pharma companies, big and small, run their clinical trials in the United Kingdom. It has been evident for the past 2 decades that all the data collected on new drugs were from men. Science has taught us how important our own personal DNA is when it comes to cancer. What happens when drugs are only tested on one type of DNA and predominantly in males? How many people are we not taking into consideration with our drug design? Cancer is the birthplace of courage. Cancer showed me that my vulnerability was not weakness. It showed me the power of community, my village, the appreciation of the gift of today, and the importance of advocating for your own health. I would like to thank Breast Cancer Now for your support in guiding me through my journey with cancer and dealing with life after cancer. You have shown me and given me the courage to use my voice for good. Thank you for your attention.
Yeah, everybody up on your feet, Jay. Oh my God. Beautiful, bold, brave, powerful words. Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for your truth and your vulnerability. You're stunning. Have you got I was lucky enough to meet your gorgeous family earlier and your gorgeous girls. Is your mum and dad here still?
No, Mum and Dad have gone now.
Oh, they were lovely.
I couldn't look at them because if I looked at them, I would have been hot crying mess.
And your amazing sister from another mister as well. She was here to support you.
Yeah, she's still here.
Oh, she's still here. Amazing. I love that. Of course she's still here. She's your tribe. She's community. There she is. There's Tia, everyone. Big love, big love. Thank you, as I said. Are you ready to go and slip into something a little different and go and strut your stuff?
Let's go. Ding, ding, round 2.
Oh, hello. Thank you, gorgeous. See you in a bit. Oh, my gosh. The amazing Jay, everybody. So if you'd like to make a donation towards Breast Cancer Now's incredible work, and I really, really hope that you will, please find the QR code. It's on the back of the program. It couldn't be easier to donate. And you can also click the link for those that are watching live. Please, please donate. I'm just going to give you a few examples of how your donation can make a difference. So a donation of £20 could buy 500 tiny test tubes, allowing researchers to experiment with small batch samples. Now, these test tubes hold volumes of around 1/4 teaspoon, and researchers can use them for different types of experiments. So that's £20. £50 could help someone travel to a breast cancer support event who wouldn't otherwise be able to join. These face-to-face events allow people to talk, listen, and learn with others who understand the challenges that breast cancer brings. And if you're feeling extra generous, please, £100 could bring an expert speaker to a Young Women Together event. Now, these events are a space for women aged 20 to 45 to meet others who understand and get tailored support on topics like relationship, exercise, and fertility. So thank you so much in advance for your support for our models and for this incredible charity, Breast Cancer Now. So our models are about to take to the catwalk, and they'll be showcasing some amazing outfits generously donated by some brilliant brands. You wait. All the models have been styled by the fabulous Rebecca Roy, and the show, yes, it's here for Rebecca Roy. We love your work, Rebecca. And the show has been brought together by the brilliant Deborah Britz. Big round of applause for Deborah and for Rebecca. We're also delighted that the talented and gorgeous Ariane Paul, woo-woo, and the Estee Lauder makeup artist, along with the fabulous GHD hairstylists, have generously given up their time to make our models look even more fabulous and feel and look incredible. So thank you, GHD, and thank you, Estee Lauder, also for the goodie bag donations as well. As you can see, you've got your goodie bags. But that's enough from me. It's time to meet the stars of our show. Are you ready to see our models? Okay, be super loud. Do not stop clapping and screaming the whole way through this show, and enjoy yourself. Let's go. What a show! Can we just hear it from our models, please? Oh my gosh. So much joy, so much love in the room. It's just unbelievable. A huge thank you to everybody for taking part. They were absolutely amazing. I've had the privilege of hanging out with them today, and they just literally touched my heart, every single one of them. A big thank you to you guys for coming along today as well. I'd like to now introduce you to somebody very special. It's Claire Rowney, who is the Chief Executive for Breast Cancer Now. And Claire's going to come up here and reflect on why we're all here today. So please, make some noise for Claire.
Here I am. Hi, everyone. So lovely to be here. I feel so lucky and so inspired to be the CEO of Breast Cancer Now today. What a joyful, completely heart-filling event this has been. So thank you all for being here, for bearing witness, for whooping with us all to those amazing models who have just been extraordinary. First of all, I'd like to say hello to everyone joining us on the live stream. It's lucky to have a few more people joining us. The room is packed to the rafters, so you have probably got a better view than some of the people at the back who were climbing on chairs to see earlier. So huge thanks for joining us. Models, a massive thank you to you. Can we have another round of applause for them? They have been absolutely amazing, and I'm not joking when I say today is a bit of a marathon for the models, because this isn't the first cat show runway walk that they've done. We did an afternoon one earlier as well, also packed to the rafters. They did that. They chatted to all of us backstage. They told us their stories. They ate a bit of lasagna, and they've come back out to do it all again. So they've been absolutely incredible. We are missing a model today, so I just wanted to do a big shout out to Justine. We were supposed to be 24. We are 23. Justine's living with secondary breast cancer and hasn't been well enough to join us today. So we're sending lots of love to Justine and her family and saying we miss you. I also want to say a huge thank you to Lisa, who, as she mentioned, has been a very proud ambassador of ours now for 20 years. And having support from someone like Lisa over such a long period of time is incredibly valuable. Thank you for sharing your support, sharing your voice, talking about the things that matter to us, because I know that they matter to you. It makes a huge difference, so huge thanks. We are joined by lots of other amazing supporters today, but I do want to do a little shout out also for the wonderful Vanessa Feltz, who is over there on our left. Vanessa has reached her 15th year of being an ambassador for us and has raised a quite incredible amount of money for us. Vanessa, it's lovely to have you here. Thank you so much for coming. Massive thank you to Jay. Jay, I know you can hear me. What has been lovely about having Jay amongst our model community has been hearing her talk about her own lived experience, but also the way she manages to scoop up everyone else's lived experience and represent it so beautifully. And so many of the other models said Jay has helped them feel seen and heard. And only Jay and people like Jay can do that. I can't. So massive thank you, Jay. You did an amazing job. We have said a few thank yous, but I do want to say thank you to Estee Lauder and GHD, particularly for their support backstage. You saw that we had 23 very beautiful and handsome models, but they really polished them backstage. So huge thank you to GHD and Estee Lauder for that. Big shout out to Rebecca, our stylist. That is an incredible job to style that many people over that short a period. And also, by the way, she looks amazing too. So she hasn't turned up in a tracksuit. She's looking pretty hot back there. Our corporate partners are everything to us. They are the backbone of our ability to do our work, and having their consistent commitment to supporting us is enormously important. To put on the event today, I want to do some special shout-outs to the amazing Anne Summers, to the fantastic Karen Millen, to the awesome Marks and Spencers, to Primark, who've done an incredible job for us, and to Pom Pom London. Thank you for all your support. And there were lots more brands who have helped us. They came up on the screen. But I do also want to say a very special thank you to a very long-term partner of ours, Asda. Asda and George have worked with us now for coming up to 25 years and have raised an absolutely staggering £100 million for Breast Cancer Now. So huge thank yous to Asda. You are
pretty damn good too. Finally, a thank you to all of you for being here today. We are an organisation that relies entirely on the generosity of the UK public. There is no government funding for us, and so we rely on people like you, the organisations in which you work, to enable us to do the work that we do. And you being here, sharing your voice, supporting us by talking about the things we care about, giving us money when you're able to, all really, really helps us do the job that we want to. Some of you are old friends of Breast Cancer Now, and it is lovely to see you. For some of you, this might be your first interaction with Breast Cancer Now, or it might be your first show. I hope you've had a lovely time. I hope you'll stay and continue to have a lovely time. And I hope over time you will all become old friends of ours, because there is room for everybody and we want to get to know you all better and work with you. I'm going to share a little story about one of our models from last year. So you all know that all of our models are living with and beyond breast cancer. Ashley, who's about to come up on the screen, was one of our models last year. In March 2020, so just as the pandemic was hitting, Ashley was diagnosed with breast cancer. She was just 24 when she got the diagnosis. Ashley underwent some grueling treatment, as many of the women and men behind us have, and I know that many of you in the room will have done too. This included for Ashley 6 rounds of chemotherapy and 16 of radiotherapy. That all went on, and she was given the all clear in November of the same year. Ashley had 4 young children, and at the end of 2021, so a year after she'd got the all clear, on the 3rd birthday of her youngest child, she was diagnosed with secondary breast cancer. Ashley was given just 3 years to live, and I'm sad to say that we lost Ashley last month. Ashley chose to spend as much of her time as she could creating lasting memories with her children. She poured everything that she had into supporting us, supporting her family, and making sure that she could make the difference that she could for everybody that she touched. In her final years, she decided to say yes to things and live her life to the fullest, and that's how she became one of our models, and it was a really incredibly proud moment for her. And earlier we had a lot of last year's models here, and they all remembered her very fondly and knew what a joy it had been for her to participate in the show. Ashley's experience, sadly, isn't rare or unusual. It's our vision at Breast Cancer Now that by 2050, anyone with a breast cancer diagnosis lives and lives well. And everyone in the room can really help us with that. Every 10 minutes in the UK, someone will hear the words, "You have breast cancer." And of them, every 45 seconds, every 45 minutes, someone will die of the results of their breast cancer diagnosis. Breast cancer is the biggest killer of working-age women in the UK. There have been lots of treatment breakthroughs. There are lots and lots of reasons to be really hopeful about breast cancer, but it isn't a done deal. There is still so much work that we have to do, and that's what we're here for. So at Breast Cancer Now, we dedicate every day that we wake up, every single member of staff is here to do 2 things. It's to deliver research that will create more cures, that will create kinder treatments, and that will help people understand why breast cancer occurs and why it spreads. And we are here to offer support for the 800,000 people each year who have been diagnosed with cancer or are living with cancer. It's a big problem, but we are an organisation with really, really big ambitions. And in the next 5 years, we have just set out our vision for what we want to do. That includes doubling the investment that we're making in breast cancer research, specifically targeting secondary breast cancer. So that's breast cancer that has spread and for which there is no cure. Making sure that Breast Cancer Now is in every NHS hospital and beyond, to make sure that when people do hear the words, "You have breast cancer," we're there to support them, to help them, to make sure they understand what's coming and how they can prepare for it. We're determined to reach communities who face the biggest barriers to accessing support, to accessing treatment, and to a sense of well-being during their journey. We heard from Jay about some of the inequalities that exist, and we're very determined in the next 5 years to really focus where the biggest gaps are, to make sure that we close them, to make sure that people can access screening, to make sure they understand the benefits of screening, to make sure that they get a fast diagnosis, and to make sure they get the treatment that they deserve. And of course, we want to do what we do every day, which is to be there, answering questions, offering support, and giving information to anybody who gets a breast cancer diagnosis. We can't do it alone. I described to you the fact that we don't get any government funding, that we rely entirely on the UK public for what we do. But having people like you by our sides is an enormous support. It means that we can carry on looking at cancer and thinking about how we can make things better. And it means we know we're not doing it alone. There are so many ways you can support us. We often campaign government to change things and actually have had lots of success changing the system for people with a breast cancer diagnosis. You can lend your voice there. You can volunteer to help. You can definitely donate money, and there are lots of other things that you can do. So we take support of all kinds, and we welcome support and friends of all kinds. So there is somewhere for you at Breast Cancer Now, whatever you do and whatever you think you can offer. We're going to take a very brief pause now to remember Ashley, and to give you the opportunity, if you'd like to donate. Lisa mentioned that there's a QR code on your programme, which is in your goodie bag. If you're watching online, you can click on the donate link to donate. We'll play some music, and then I'll be back in a minute. Thank you, Claire. Thank you. And thank you to everybody who's donating. And thank you to you guys at home. Would you like to see the models one more time? Shall we finish with a little sass and a little energy and a little like va-va-voom? Shall we? Are you ready? Okay, let's welcome our models back. Put your hands together. Come on out, you foxy lot.
Ladies and gentlemen, weren't they fantastic? Please show your appreciation for our 2025 models. Amy Yasmin. Pretty Stanley. Georgie McLeod Morgan. Jay Tatler. Maggie Harries. Anne Wilkinson. Susan Wood. Dave Talbot. Gillian Taylor. Kaylee Walker. Charlotte James Lisbon. Sharon Goddard. Katie Gallup. Maxine Smiles Cook. Melanie Kwok. Elaine Davidson. Ruben Board. Helga Simeon. Rachel Ross. Carol Firth. Faye Dixon. Rebecca Oladelli. Marie Nichols. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for our 2025 models.
Wow, absolutely incredible. Well done down to our amazing models. Thank you guys for being here. It's been such a pleasure to be your host this evening for what's been the most unforgettable evening. I hope you've all enjoyed it as much as I have. You have, right? I know you have. So much love, so much support. You have been absolutely gorgeous. Thank you to everybody that's been watching at home as well. Thank you for your support. For those in the room, please, you can stay and join everybody for some canapes and a little get-together to celebrate the models. I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. And most importantly, I hope you are ready to change the future of breast cancer. Are you ready? Let's do this. Thank you so much. Good night.